ciabattas now. What I've done is I've got a tray, baking tray, turned upside down so that I can slide the ciabattas easily off. And then I've popped a piece of baking parchment on the top of that upside down baking tray. And I'm going to sprinkle lots of semolina, cornmeal, something like that, brown rice flour, something that's got a gritty texture. Lots and lots of it onto there, and put that to one side. And then I'm going to put loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of semolina onto the surface. Don't be shy, okay? It's going to need it. Now this here is the ciabatta ready. Can you see lots of lovely, lovely air holes captured in that dough? This is going to make 2 smaller ciabattas, which makes it easier to handle than one large one. So let's get the dough out onto that semolina. The first thing I want to do is fold it in half, okay? So I'm going to pull the dough and fold it in half. And then I'm going to put loads and loads and loads more semolina on it. And then I'm going to cut it in half. So doesn't matter if it's dead on or not, okay? And then bring the tray that you're going to pop it onto closer, because that is really it for shaping ciabatta. Okay, what I want to do now is lift this onto this tray, and then as it's on the tray, I just stretch it to make that distinctive ciabatta shape. And ciabatta means slipper in Italian, so you're trying to make it into sort of a slipper shape. And then go crazy with more semolina. I really can't emphasise enough that semolina is important, because you don't want this sticking at any point. You want it, and the semolina gives it a really lovely texture to the finished loaf. Okay, so put that to one side, stretch it, and semolina. Okay, so we're just going to leave those now, just to prove a little bit more. But you can see how gently I handled them. I don't want to squash those air pockets out. I want to encourage these air pockets. These are what makes ciabatta distinctive, having this uneven crumb with large air pockets inside. So they're just going to have, probably whilst the oven heats up, so half an hour proving now, because they are lovely and filled with air. Here they are. The oven is set to 240. They look quite flat now, but once they go into the oven and they're steamed, so I add steam with my pressure sprayer, they're going to rise beautifully. So the oven's set to 240, I'm going to put them in. I'm going to use my pressure sprayer to steam the oven just on the walls and the shelves of the oven, avoiding the glass door and the light. Create lots of steam in there for those first 5–10 minutes, and then the steam will dissipate through the bake. And then they'll start to crust up, and they will take 20–25 minutes to bake because they're quite small. So in they go. So they've had 20 minutes in the oven, and here they are, beautiful and golden brown. Okay, so let's remove the parchment from underneath. So they went straight onto a solid shelf that had been heating up in the oven, as the oven was preheated, so you could put a baking tray in there. And I slid them off the baking trays using the parchment straight onto that solid shelf. Let's just check the internal temperature. There we go, 94, so beautifully cooked. And we're just going to let those cool now. Listen to that sound. Chop it in half. Oh, beautiful. There you go, gorgeous open crumb there of the ciabatta. Oh, absolutely gorgeous.